Turning an old Chromebook into something that feels way more premium sounded easy at first until I started messing things up. And I typed the wrong commands, I got stuck, and had to open the laptop to unplug the battery. And for a second, I thought I was not gonna get this working. But after all of that, I finally got this Chromebook to boot Zorin OS. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the real process and the mistakes I made and all of that, because this is a part that nobody really shows. So let's get into it. So as you guys can see, we're gonna browse as guest, accept, and then right now, so I'm in the computer as a guest. I turned on the developer mode. So then with the developer mode, I can access to the terminal, pressing Ctrl Alt and then refresh this button right here. So now what I have to do is run a command. I'm gonna see what's going on. We're in the developer console. I need to do the localhost login, which basically is put Kronos. So then when we're here, we're gonna do cd. Right now I'm just putting a command that the internet said, just to get this going. So what I was doing wrong is that I was putting, instead of Chromebox with one X, I was putting it with two X's. So that's what I was doing wrong. But then we can continue with sudo bash firmware. So it's good. So right now, what are we doing? So we installed the firmware utility, whatever shell, I don't know, whatever in Chromebox tech we have, in chromebox.tech, we installed like the firmware util.sh. I don't know exactly what that is. Let me look it up. So basically what we're doing is we installed the firmware util.sh script, which is basically, or it's like a Chrome OS firmware utility script, right? And basically it makes it more simple to do common functions. For example, install custom firmware that we want in our PC, like custom firmware like on the BIOS or UEFI. This will allow us to replace the Chrome OS with Linux or with Windows, or even have a dual boot on the computer. Have Chromebook plus the other one. So this is what we needed to do. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna reboot, because then after rebooting, we're gonna press Ctrl L. We messed it up. I'm trying to install it again. You see, in the terminal you have to really pay attention, because I was not paying attention, and that's why you lose a lot of time, because you don't put the commands right. So you have to do it again. Give me a second, I want to make sure I'm doing it right. I was scared of this. So as you guys can see here, it says enabled. So what I have to do is I have to open the computer. Then when opening the computer, because if it's enabled, whatever this is, I don't know. If it's enabled, it won't let us boot something else. So what I have to do is open the computer, unplug the battery to the motherboard so it doesn't receive any power. And then I have to go through a process. I think I probably have to do another command. So I'm gonna do that and then come back. So this is something that I hate of opening computers or laptops, is that they have hidden screws. And well, they're not really hidden, they just have this little thing. So to me, I don't know, it's just too much extra stuff. And here it has another one. So this is how it looks. So what you guys can see right now, here's the motherboard, here's the battery. So whatever I said about disconnecting this one, it was not with that one, because I was weird, because it literally told us that it still had battery. So I think I disconnected either, I don't know what I disconnected. Whatever I disconnected, I'm not sure where it was. I don't know what I disconnected. I don't know. This should be the cable of the battery. Now the battery should be disconnected. Let's see now what we can do. Now it's not turning on, so that's good. So I think this port is not working correctly because as you guys can see, it was flashing. So what I'm thinking, I don't know for a fact, but what I'm thinking is that this charging port wasn't working, but this charging port is. Okay, everything good working as of now. So I put the developer console. I'm again doing the tool that basically helps us to be able to boot Zorin operating system. It is working good as of now. Any issues? Must first disable it and reboot it before flashing. I think we're gonna have to do all the process again. So what it was telling us is that it was still enabled, the thing to flash, basically the thing that wasn't allowing us to flash the computer, which I don't know exactly what it is, but it was just not allowing us. I imagine it's the protections that the Chromebook has, so a regular user doesn't just get off the operating system as quick or as easy. So we're putting the commands again. We're putting the commands again on the terminal, and then hopefully now it led us to boot Zorin operating system or Zorin OS. Let's see what happens. See, here now it says disabled after we unplug the battery and after whenever it prompted that it was just wrong, now it just says disabled. So then what we can do is reboot. Come on. So basically I didn't follow the directions and I was still doing the same, all of the process and putting reboot, but then I just didn't read this. And that's why you have to read the instructions. So well, the instructions tell you install and update RW legacy firmware. That's what I want to do. So let's do it. 1. Or maybe the option 2 now that I'm thinking. 1 is not what I should do. I think I should do 2 because then we would do it fully. Just because it says full, I don't know what it does, but I'm thinking I'm gonna do 2, not 1. You know what? I'm gonna just press the option 1 and see what happens. So now what I'm gonna choose is option 1 and see what happens. It should work, I think. Turn on Windows, see the documentation. Mr. Chromebooks, sure. So now we have to wait. Because we're not trying to run Windows. Here it was if we wanted to run Windows, which we don't. So I'm here. What? Control L. So now after everything installed, we're just gonna press Control L. My mistake, you don't have to choose. So this is my mistake or what I learned. I don't have to put the option 1, which is install or update RW legacy firmware. I have to choose the option 2. So I'm gonna try that because I tried the number 1 and it didn't do anything. So maybe, and it makes sense. I don't know why I didn't try the number 2 before, because I do remember the UEFI is where you get into the computer before running the operating system. So that's what I need to do in order to run this. So now it is actually, we'll be able to run Zorin OS now. So after just going through the process of answering the questions, I'm now gonna be able to access the UEFI of the computer. So that is, for my understanding, is when you are, that's before getting into the operating system, right? So then when we get into the UEFI menu, we can choose to boot from the B drive. So then let's see what happens. So now we installed it, we did what we had to do to run the UEFI, and then we're gonna reboot. I'm thinking if I don't have to do this, I don't know. So let's see, I'm gonna do it. See what happens. Still off, but I'm ready to press escape. Verify contains points. Press any key to continue. Try or install Zorin OS, safe graphics, modern. I'm thinking just this one. So we were able to access Zorin OS. It booted. It gave us these 3 options, but this is a Chromebook. I don't think, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have modern NVIDIA drivers, so I'm just gonna do this one. Let's see, it's running. So apparently better than I thought. I think this process that probably took us 2 hours because of my mistakes of not following the directions correctly and being confused a little bit with stuff. It should have been way faster. Now that I've done it now, I know I can do it faster in in the future. Whenever I want to boot something in another computer, I just have to do the same. As long as it's Chromebook, because if it's Windows or if it's another like another operating system, then it will be with a different process. But that just comes with investigating what the process is for each one. But that's what we get from today. Zorin. We're at Zorin right now. Just install Zorin. You know what? I put to start without Wi-Fi, but I think I want to just have the Wi-Fi and update Zorin and just have it all set up better. As of now, I like how the mouse looks on Zorin OS, so this is what we got to see. Well, for some reason it doesn't let me. Erase disk and install Zorin. Yes. Right. Changes to disks. Okay. To directory. So it just loaded, and I couldn't record what animation that it appeared in the beginning, but it was a pretty cool animation. I liked it. And yes, I had an animation in the beginning, and I guess I'm gonna start tour. Open the menu to launch apps, choose your desktop, Zorin appearance, connect your online accounts, link your phone and computer. Yes, install now. And then launch Zorin Connect. Zorin Connect, use software to find and install apps, launch software. Next, that's it. We hope you enjoy Zorin OS. Close. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna continue this in other days. I wanted to just record quick before closing it, just the beginning on how it was, and to show you guys a little bit how it was in the beginning. At the end of the day, I couldn't record that first animation, but at least you guys got what I recorded. Here's like a little breakdown. So with Chrome OS, I had to activate the developer mode. And then after activating the developer mode, right, I got access to the terminal, which when I accessed to the terminal, it let me download something firmware to access to the UEFI and to do whatever. I didn't understand it completely, but the point was that it helped me access to the UEFI. So to be able to access to that, it's like a menu, and then it lets you boot, choose where to boot, either to boot from a USB and wipe out everything, or just stuff like that. So that's what I did. I downloaded that, went through the process, committed a lot of mistakes, and took me 2 hours when it should have took me 15 minutes. So after, of course, because it was the first time that I did this, right? It's the first time that I did this, and I didn't know how to do a lot of things. So then I booted from my USB that had the Zorin OS. And after booting it was straightforward. I'm right now is currently downloading all of the files that it needs, just the things that the operating system needs to function. And it's preparing. And so what I'm gonna do next is, after it finishes installing and doing all that stuff, I'm gonna, I have to plug in again the battery. I had to unplug it for some reason to be able to boot from a USB drive. So I did that, and so I'm gonna plug it again, and then I'm gonna close everything up and just leave it like a computer, and it'll be fun. I don't know, and I'm gonna show the results of and the process on how I start changing it, and customizing it, because my goal is to make it look the most as a Mac, as if I had a Mac. So that's gonna be fun, and stay tuned, and I'm gonna do that.